Right, people. I wasn't going to do any more videotapes, but I think that I need to touch on just someone on the internet said it's a very dangerous situation to be in for everybody. And it is a very dangerous situation to be in for everybody. And I think I should speak on that. And I'll tell you why it's a very dangerous situation and who created that dangerous situation. What you have is the villain. And the main villain in this case would be Gerard McGreevy. The other villains would be the other heads of all the other ACC Crown and government departments. And the abuse of the law in trying to turn the victim into the villain and trying to turn the villain into the victim, which is literally what this case is all about. While sabotaging the victim's life, rehabilitation, rights, while trying to literally have the victim live and relive and relive and relive and relive the different scenarios and the different situations and the different lines of attack, undermining the victim, all the negativity, building the walls, the barriers, the fences, the obstacles, using false names to communicate with the victim, covering up all the privacy acts, leaving the victim with as much shite in their life as is possible. And this is where inventing brain injuries and mental illnesses come into it. By alleging mental illness and brain injury, you then have the foundation of this terrorist-run organization to literally demand that the victim undergoes psychiatric evaluations and all that shit. And then you've got the corruption within the medical professionals and specialists and experts and everybody else who are being paid to violate and rape the victim's life. They're not being paid to get to the bottom of the problem. The problem is being masked by all these other bullshit, evaluations and keeping the focus on attacking the victim. Then you've got the suspending of rights and entitlements, rehabilitation, medical and treatment needs illegally and unlawfully, continually, by ACC manufacturing and the villains manufacturing their own ways to suspend rights and entitlements. And I think they made about 7 or 8 deals with me to reinstate my entitlements after stopping it for 3, 6 months, 9 months or whatever. You know, McGreevy kept doing this. This is all part and parcel of his sabotaging my life and putting security guards outside medical appointments, part of his intimidation. Part of us trying to have everybody given this perception that I've committed some crime of some, you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. It's like McGreevy is the most evil, aggressive, threatening, intimidating, violent bastard on the planet. And he's got everybody else doing his dirty work. He's putting everybody else in danger, but he's putting his victim in more danger than anybody else. So literally, he creates all this conflict. And then all these heads of departments, your police, your Crown Law Office, your Ombudsman's Office, your Cabinet of Ministers, your experts of medical professions. And then you're sabotaging the victim's life in every way known to man. And then you're trying to, I think Dr. Brett Roach was probably the most upstanding of them all, because he told McGreevy to go fuck himself. And then he ends up committing alleged suicide. Anyway, I think if he hadn't have protected me for a long time and defended me for a long time and knew exactly where I was coming from, that I probably wouldn't have lived this long, to be honest. He didn't. He tried to support me in every way he could, but there was nothing he could do to stop McGreevy or the system. He had his own issues to deal with. He had enough conflicts with authorities. And trying to change things for the better for a lot of patients and a lot of people. But the system's broken. It's broken because you have people in positions of power who are not accountable for the crimes they commit against their victims. And the dangers that are created aren't created by the victim. They're not even created by society. They're created by the terrorists running it, and that's the whole problem. You're always driving it for a last resort. You're always driving it on fear and violence. You're always driving it on provocation. You're always driving it on abuse, threats, intimidation, and violence. Those in power are instigating. isolating the victim, alienating the victim, denying the victim access to information, denying the victim access to a multidisciplinary team, denying the victim access to rehabilitation, medical treatment needs, denying the victim investigations of the injuries that they have. And you're literally trying to say the victim's insane or criminally insane, which the victim's far from insane or criminally insane, but you're getting them there by what you're doing, because that's the whole fucking criminal intent behind it. Then it's all antagonism, torment, torture, while you stalk, harass, criminally harass, slander, label, defame. This is a terrorist playing everybody against each other. And everybody is either being paid to support the terrorist or mislead society in relation to who the real terrorist is, and who the real villain is, and who the victim is. And then at the end of it all, the government says ACC can't contract out of legislation, so they get to do it again and again and again and again. It's never ending. And then you sabotage the victim again by destroying all the case notes and all the medical notes and all the medical files and all the ACC files. You enter into agreements and then you throw the agreement out the window, the agreement written by McGreevy himself that I was held criminally to blackmail to sign. But you know, them's the breaks, and that's the whole problem with the system, that you would need multi-million dollars. If I had the money, I could put the entire government for the last 20 years behind bars where they belong. I could put all the police involved in my case behind bars where they belong. I could put all the staff and management behind bars where they belong, because they're representing a criminality, not a, they're not representing a rehabilitation organization. They're not restoring a victim's life to the best it can be. They're creating all these conflicts to take the victim away from their injuries, brain injury, mental illness, threats to kill, aggressive, threatening, intimidating. They're isolating the victim, they're alienating the victim, they're literally leaving the victim as singled out as they can, and then they're trying to help, they're trying to call on society, help me. I want to keep my job and my reputation because I'm a fucking terrorist. That's literally what McGreevy's done. That's what Mike Herron helped him do. That's what Elsa Duffy helped him do. That's what Beverly Wakeham, Mel Smith, John Belgrave helped him do. That's what Ruth Dyson, Helen Clark, Michael Cullen, Leanne Dalzell, Annette King. They all helped him keep his reputation and character and his job and his career. The guy's a fucking terrorist. He's a fucking lunatic. He's a deranged, criminally insane lunatic who should not be employed. He shouldn't be allowed to practice law, because he doesn't practice law, he practices crime and getting away with crimes and manipulating. It's, you know, I've written down a lot of different things here. That when I look at one issue, I could recite it all off to you. You know, it's like, there's that much involved. Everything is about entrapment of the victim, because there is no laws of criminal entrapment in New Zealand to protect the victims. There is no laws of now criminal provocation to where the victim can go to the extent that they need to go to defend themselves. At the end of the day, the government wants to keep control, and then it wants to turn its criminalities into civil matters, and its criminalities are about being the biggest gangsters on the planet, the biggest criminal racketeers on the planet, the biggest abortion clinic on the planet. That's what they run. They're running the biggest Nazi concentration camp in New Zealand under ACC. And they're all making money from it. And the victims are the ones who are left to suffer again and again and again and again, and relive it and relive it and relive it and relive it. You're talking one person trying to take on what McGreevy's trying to turn into the entire country. And he's literally trying to turn himself into a victim at all times, and he's used fear and violence to do it. And he's abused the law and the legislation. The courts, of course, you know, they'll protect him as much as they can. and they'll protect all his vigilantism as much as they can. But this is about a terrorist getting away with murder. And he should never have made a false declaration in my name to begin with, and then covered it up. And everybody else covered it up. And then tried to claim there was a conversation in relation to a $20,000 payment. Now let me clarify a few things around that, because it's a mighty interesting point. They claimed that I signed a form to pay $20,000 to my ex-wife. They then changed that when I asked for a copy of this form. They then changed that to I had a conversation with Gerard McGreevy. Ailsa Duffy did a Queen's Counsel investigation. There couldn't have been any conversation because me and McGreevy had actually stopped talking at that point in time. About a week before he alleged, I had a conversation with him. So he's a proven habitual compulsive liar. And literally, the false declaration in my name, this is my view on it, right? Probably a fuck up by Greg Cheatham, but the law says that they should have paid all the money to me. But there was a few things going on between the case manager and my ex-wife. And he was sort of flirting with her and everything else. And yeah, it wasn't a very nice situation to be in. And anyway, he paid her $20,000 and then claimed that I'd signed the form, which I didn't. And then Gerard McGreevy claimed that I had a conversation with him in relation to that, which I didn't. They even offered her a job in ACC, which was mighty interesting. So anyway, it was humiliation and embarrassment for her, which wasn't fucking very nice. And she got caught in something that she should have been pulled into by a fucking lowlife fucking case manager. And so from there it went from, then I was alleged to have a brain injury, then a mental illness and making threats to kill. I left a message on Greg Cheatham's phone. I said, you want to play fucking games? I'll show you how to play games. It was just, I felt he was playing games. So he wants to fucking play games, I'll show him. I went to the what do I call it? The Serious Fraud Office in relation to the false declaration made in my name, because I believed that it was fraud on the part of ACC for not doing their job and trying to set me up for crimes that I didn't commit. And they said that it was up to ACC to actually press charges or up to the government to actually press charges. Well anyway, if you all go back and you all find out exactly what happened over the false declaration that was made in my name, when they claimed that my wife had left her employment in order to facilitate the level of required care for me during the time of my injuries, that wasn't true. She went to work every day, she worked hard, and it could have been easily proven that she didn't give up her employment to look after my health and well-being or needs. And when they sent me a registered envelope claiming all this, and I had to sign for it, that was literally me taking responsibility for what they'd written in their forms, and I wasn't fucking going to do that. So I rang up Greg Cheatham, and that's why I said about you want to play fucking games. And then that's when he alleged that I made a threat to kill against them. And so I got a copy of the tape from Telecom. It took me 3 years to get it, mind you. A lot of conversations, a lot of communication, but they gave it to me because I was the one who actually left the message on the phone. But for 3 years, I was literally singled out, isolated, alienated, given trespass notices. Apparently, Greg Cheatham said he feared for his personal safety and that I had made a threat to kill against him. And the tape recorder proved otherwise. Then ACC came out with this, well, it was his perception, you know, after destroying my fucking life for 3 years and after violating and raping my life for 3 years under forensic psychiatrists. So Ailsa Duffy did her QC investigation report. Her investigation report doesn't show even half of that, of what actually went on. You know, she literally left out a lot of fucking criminalities on the part of ACC Crown and Government. But by sitting on the fence then and not being able to establish who committed the crime in relation to a conversation over a $20,000 payment just goes to show how corrupt Elsa Duffy behaved, because she covered up a known crime and then tried to sit on the fence over a $20,000 payment by leaving the false declaration made in my name out of the Queen's Counsel investigation report. So that's why McGreevy was allowed to remain in place, and that's why he was allowed to then apply for restraining orders, continue his criminalities, abuse, threats, intimidation, violence, harassment, criminal harassment. This wasn't something that just happened overnight. This was an ongoing, abusive, threatening, intimidating, violent attack at all times. And this wasn't just about me, this was about stalking my family as well. And after 6.5 years, I just fucking said, right, okay, I can't do this anymore. If this allows me to move forward in a positive manner, if I'm going to be held criminally to blackmail and ransom over an agreement, if they're not going to put into it what I want them to put into it, what needs to be put into it, then the best thing to do is to sign it, get the rehabilitation I need, get my own business set up, and move on. And that was the fucking plan. Which literally, after I signed the agreement, it was like the attacks went from probably 50% of abuse, threats, intimidation, and violence to 100%. Okay? And then, instead of accusing me of a threat to kill this time they did it through the police and the justice system and all the rest of it. So then you get the lynch mob involved, and then you get Detective Shane Page declaring it an act of war against me. You get Beverly Wakeham saying, Jan White says she hopes you don't go and get a gun. What does that mean? You're going to need a gun to resolve this. Mike Herron, Crown solicitor, he literally claimed that I better watch my back. And these are all threats by these people in positions in power. And these threats are easily proven by everybody involved. There's none of them can deny it. There's evidence to prove it. There's always been evidence to prove it. And the police covered it up. So anyway, after they started their act of war, then it was carrying out 4 years of abuse, threats, intimidation, violence, kidnapping, harassment, criminal harassment, backing me into a corner, wearing me down mentally, psychologically, emotionally, physically, and financially. Not an ounce of rehabilitation. And attacking me in the back of a police car and leaving me with a fucking neck injury and 2 arms like lead weights, which I said previously in my other tape. But I don't think anybody, you can read all the shite you want in this case. ACC destroys everything that does not support its criminalities, or anything that supports me in their criminality. They destroy, should I say. And they literally hold on to their fictitious written medical reports that I disagreed with and that I've always disputed, but they're still using them to pass it on to every other fucker that I go to. But over the last, I would say 11 years, I haven't had one proper ounce of rehabilitation. My life has literally been turned into a prisoner, a hostage, and a captive, held criminally to blackmail and ransom, and spoon-fed shit. They suspended all my rights and entitlements for 4 years, just over 4 years, like I told you before. And then paid Inland Revenue 14% at a rate of about $30,000 out of my pocket, which was a further premeditated criminal act on the part of ACC, because I was always compliant with the law and the legislation. And I had an agreement in place over the acts of privacy with ACC that were signed 7 years prior. So, and the privacy issue was always the argument. And in the end, they ended up using the privacy. The courts kept they kept giving the wrong decisions. So they could continue it on for 4 years. This is just part and parcel of the corruption and criminality that a victim has to go through. There's no doubt in my mind that this is the most dangerous situation that anybody could be in. And there's no doubt in my mind that McGreevy has driven us for last resort situations. He's tried to drive me insane because he's the biggest criminal abuser, violent, low-life scum of this earth bastard on the planet. And all those others in power who have helped him, they're no better than he is. It just, I sit and I think about Nazi Germany and Hitler and, you know, and all those heads. That's all I see in ACC Crown and Government. Every time they attacked me, I could see all these evils of what they were doing. Nobody protected me, nobody assisted me, nobody supported me, and there was no rehabilitation. So this is all about driving this case in my life to a last resort. So McGreevy gets to win all the time, because he's never going to be held criminally to account by the terrorists in place at the moment. You know, it's like, if it's not addressed, it's going to end in a last resort. Somebody said it's going to drive me over the edge at some point. It's already driven me to the point of post-traumatic stress. So, and it's literally destroyed my life. It's left me with further injuries, and everybody wants to cover it up. So, at the end of the day, these are all involved in this crime. These are all involved in trying to support a terrorist, and now you all think that silence and quiet and piecemeal fashion shite is going to be the answer, and trying to take my life back under ACC is going to be the answer to it all. No, it's fucking not. Because I have lost millions of dollars, and I've lost fucking now 19 years, almost 20 years of my quality of life to the hands of these fucking terrorists. And it's not going to continue. At the end of the day, everybody involved in it is going to be fucking hanged one way or the other. Every fucking body. And New Zealand, I think New Zealand is a disgrace for how it's behaved in this case, and more so the people who are supposed to be helping, assisting and supporting people. More so the people who are supposed to be serving and protecting society, when they're the ones carrying out crimes on behalf of the terrorists running the organisations and the administration. My case proves that the rule of law in New Zealand, that the government and everyone else in it has been breaking it for decades. And everyone who's been breaking it deserves to be behind bars where they belong. I also know that the government has made the laws the way they've made them so they can commit their crimes and get away with them. So the problem is not society or the system. The problem is the fact that the government is unwilling to give victims the rights to be protected, the rights to have criminal accountability and justice, the rights to have a lawful forum for bringing the likes of McGreevy, a terrorist, because he's a lawyer. He thinks he can do whatever the fuck he likes. And these judges likewise, and these politicians likewise, and these police likewise. No, they fucking can't. Everybody's copped on to the fact that the system's broken. Andrew Little, he's trying to do something. Jacinda Ardern, I'm not too fucking sure what she's trying to do with the justice system. I think she stays out of it. She's too busy trying to lift up her profile at the minute. You know? But I think you can trust her better than most bloody politicians. But that remains to be seen. I'm going to find out over the next 5 or 6 months on exactly what her standing is. But you all know where I stand. At the end of the day, no one is getting to take my life from me and destroy my fucking life without paying the fucking ultimate price for fucking doing it. Because this is going to cost me my life if it ends in a last resort. There's no doubt about that. I don't want my life under the hands of my attackers, my abusers, and my kidnappers. I don't think any victim should be under the controls of their attackers, abusers, and kidnappers, and under the controls of racketeers, or mafia, as I call them, or vigilantes, or state terrorists, or lynch mobs. I don't believe they deserve the right to have any respect from me for how they've treated me and how they've destroyed my life for 20 years. And I think that I've shown more patience and more determination than anybody on this planet. With not lifting my hand once, I think I've done, the frustration gets to you. Sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like I've always been in pretty good control of my feelings, my emotions, my sanity. I wouldn't say I'm in too good control of my mouth sometimes, but I speak my mind and I don't take their fucking shite. I don't care who they are. And they know how to provoke, they know how to antagonise, they know how to torment, they know how to torture, they know how to terrorise. And yeah, they know how to carry out all the crimes. And then they all think they get smart about it. And I used to have a great sense of humour, I still do, but it's probably not what it used to be. But I'm not here to take any more shit from any of you. And this is it. So he's either give me my life back, or we all pay the fucking ultimate price. And that's not a threat, that's just the fucking reality. I'm not gonna fucking live this for another fucking 13 fucking years under ACC. And I'm not walking away with nothing. And I'm not gonna keep living my life to where you're fucking destroying it without an ounce of rehabilitation. There isn't one fucking doctor sitting in front of me answering fucking questions. The GP that I have since Dr. Brett Roach committed suicide, she hasn't got a fucking clue. Her only answer is, I don't have any medical notes and medical files to go from. She's been my fucking GP for 9 fucking years. Are you kidding me? 8 years? No, I don't know. 2009. What's that? 9 years? Yeah. All but 1 year. So anyway, that's my standing. And you all want to sit there and you all want to be fucking quiet. Stop trying to turn society against me. Start coming out and start telling the truth about what McGreevy is. He's a fucking terrorist. And start addressing the crimes of your own police. Start addressing the crimes of your own Crown Law Office and your own Ombudsman. Start addressing the crimes of the courts, threatening a victim and trying to be a fucking lynch mob. Start addressing the crimes of your commissioners and your administrations, because they're all criminals. And they're all obstructing and perverting the course of justice every day, and they're all covering up their crimes, and they're all hiding it behind Privacy Acts or Ombudsman's Acts, or yeah, whatever fucking acts they can. So this is it, people. Either I get my fucking life to live it to the best of my ability, in fucking peace, or we end up in the fucking war that you created and that you declared against me. That's my fucking standing on the matter.